Hello, today we're going to be doing a lesson on fractions. Have you worked on fractions before?
Sometimes.
A little bit? Okay, so we have a jar here with M&Ms. We're going to look, we have some questions that I wrote on our board. We're going to take out the M&Ms. And our first question says, what fraction would represent the number of red M&Ms in the first jar?
There's one in there.
Okay. So which part are we looking for? It says, which would represent the number of red M&Ms in the first jar?
There's 3 red M&Ms.
There's 3 red M&Ms? So what would that be? Would that be your numerator or your denominator?
Numerator?
Numerator, yes. So we're going to write 3 as our numerator. And then we put the fraction line. And then how do we find the denominator?
By counting all of them?
By counting all of them. So how many do we have?
8.
8. So what would our fraction be?
3 out of 8?
3/8.
Oh, yeah.
3 out of 8 M&Ms for red, right? So we'll write red on our board. And then our next question says, how could we determine the number of fractions to represent the number of red M&Ms in the first jar? So that's what we just did. We determined that there was 3 red M&Ms out of 8 M&Ms in total. So we know that the numerator is going to be the number that we're looking for, which was the red M&Ms. And 8 is the denominator because it's our total, right? You said it was all the M&Ms together? Okay. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to work together to solve our next 2 questions that we have on our board.
Okay.
And then we're going to compare the fractions. So, do you want to read our next question?
What is the fraction in blue M&Ms in your group's jar? Group jar.
So your jar. So which part? So what? You're gonna write it down.
Blue M&Ms. So 2 blue M&Ms. Put 2 here.
You wanna write it down? So 2 is our
Numerator.
numerator. Yes. Good job.
And there's 7.
There's 7.
Wait. There's 8.
8. Yes. Okay. So what is our next? So how did we determine the fraction of the blue M&M in the jar?
Determine?
How did we find how many we had? How many blue did we have in total?
By looking at different colors.
By looking at the different colors. So you knew that there was 1, 2 blue M&Ms, which was the number we were looking for, and that's our numerator. We can write numerator here. And 8 was our 2 was our numerator, and 8 was the
oximeter?
the which one? We had the numerator and the...
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Do you know what the 8 represents?
The total of M&Ms?
The total of M&Ms. So that is our denominator. So we have 2 blue M&Ms out of 8 M&Ms. So now we're going to compare our fraction of our blue M&Ms with our red M&Ms. So this one was our blue. Do you remember what our red M&M fraction was?
It was 3. No.
You can show me. You have the same M&Ms. We're just going to find the red M&Ms.
It was 3 out of 8.
3 out of 8. Okay. So So we have 2 out of 8 blue. And how many red?
3.
3 out of 8 red. So by looking at the fraction, we can see that they have the same denominator. So we can compare them because they have the same denominator of, what was our denominator?
8.
Of 8, right? So we can compare the top now. So by looking at them, which one do you think? Do you think this is greater than, less than, or equal to?
Less than.
The blue is less than? So how would that look? I could put it right here. How would less than look? 2/8 is less than 3/8. You want to try it again? What is it? What does this represent?
Oh, yeah.
Which one did you write? Greater than, right? And this one is?
Less than.
So so the blue is less than the red, right? Good job. Okay, so now let's erase this. So we're comparing the 2 fraction amounts. And we know that there are more red M&Ms than blue M&Ms. Yes. Okay. Now we're going to compare the yellow to the blue M&Ms. So here you go. You can write me their yellow fraction.
1
1
out of 7.
You want it out of 7? So what does this one represent?
Are the
Denominator, and what does that represent?
our total of M&Ms.
And what's our total of M&Ms?
8.
8. So why did you write 7?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we have one yellow M&M out of 8 that are yellow. So this was our numerator
And
denominator.
yeah.
Okay, so you can write yellow. This is our yellow fraction. We are going to compare the yellow to the blue. So what is our blue? What's the fraction for blue? Good job separating them. But when you separate them, you have to remember, when you do the denominator, you have to count all of them, right? Good job. Okay, so we have 1/8 yellow and 2/8 that are blue. So when we compare them, is yellow less than, greater than, or equal to?
Less than.
Less than? So yellow, so the blue is greater than the yellow, or let's write it down. Let's write it down here so we can see what it looks like. Okay, good job. So what does this mean?
That side means less than, that side means greater.
And this was your, what color?
Yellow.
Yellow and blue. So the yellow is less than the blue. Good job. Wait. Now we are going to do what we're gonna do is I'm gonna let you select another color and you're going to answer the questions by yourself, okay? Okay, so what colors do you want to use?
Blue and red.
Blue and red? Did we do blue and red already? Let's try a different color. Let's do
Orange and green.
Orange and green. So you're gonna write down the fraction for both of them, and then you're gonna write down which one is greater than, less than, or equal to. Which one were you comparing? You said the green and the orange?
Yeah.
And they are
Equal.
good job. Okay. Do another one now. Have we done? Which ones haven't we done? Let's do orange and blue. Okay? You're gonna do it by yourself. So you said this was which one?
The blue.
The blue? The blue was 2 out of 8 and the orange was 1 out of 8. So that means that, can you read it for me? What does that say?
Blue.
That the blue is
Greater
than the orange. Good job. Okay, so now that we finished our activity, we're gonna close our activity by going on a website and you're gonna work on fractions together. Okay? Okay. So we're gonna work on a website. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, so we're gonna do an activity for 4th grade.
Oh, I've seen those little animals.
Yeah? You've done this in your class before?
But I've seen the little animals in Class Dojo.
Okay. Okay, so now you're gonna work on this activity by yourself. Okay? Alright, so we're working on fractions the same as you worked before. And just complete this activity and that would be the close of our fraction lesson. Okay?